Welcome to building a Gondorian style tower part 2, where we'll be getting the second layer complete. I've already gone ahead and what I've done is cut a slip-in piece of foam board to hold the tower in place. So I'll pop in there, and then this is the actual layer that we'll build the tower on top of. So that's the width of the tower, and that's the width of the inside of the tower. So what I'll do is just pop some glue on there. Then we'll glue that on square. Push up from low to make sure it actually holds well. And there you go. So it shouldn't matter which way that goes on. It should almost always line up if you're half square. And then we can start now assembling the tower. The upper piece is 15 layers tall. So this time it's going to be a true 4x4, because these are 4x4, but they're on edge. So now it's going to be an actual 4x4 square for the second layer. So I'll just start by getting my first section assembled. Okay, so that's the first square done. So that's going to basically, you can either measure it to get an exact center, or you can just eyeball it to get rough, and I'm just going to eyeball it and basically just glue that right on. Okay, and that's the base section. So what I'm going to do right now is I have some balsa wood. So I'm just going to throw this in here right away. And there you have it. So now you basically just start stacking your bricks up and creating your layers. So this is 5 squares built up, and this is the point where I make my joint for connecting the rest of it to this bottom piece. That way you can open it up and have easy access into here where your windows are, in case you want to, put some archers up here. So what I'm going to do is create a joint system where I'm going to go through and basically add a couple of bricks on each side to, and then basically leaving some out, and that'll be the bottom layer done, and then the top layer will click in to the points that are left out, creating that joint. So I'll just do it, and you'll see from me doing it how that's created. Okay, so these 2 bricks are now the line up point. So now I'll build my second layer above it now, or the next layer, 6th layer, actually, no, 7th layer. And they're not going to join to any of these ones, just to these 2, which will create like a good snug join system for successive layers. Okay, there. Mama? That's ready to keep going up now. And then so we've done 7 layers, and so there's 8 more to go to get to the top of the tower. Okay, so for finishing the top, I have bricks here that are 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter by 1, so it's essentially just 2 of these guys, and then it's one solid brick. So I'm going to basically create a perimeter that's sticking out half on, half off, just to create a lip, and also I'll just start gluing these together to form that lip first, so you can, and then I'll assemble it after. And then there'll be one more layer of bricks on top. Okay, this next part is an insert. So I have a piece of foam board I was going to cut dimension to fit here. Okay, these are bricks from the floor section, and then more of these 2x2 bricks. And so I've already gone ahead and figured out what the pattern needs to be, but basically these are going to be a cross pattern. These ones are going to come in across here to glue that in. And once that's all assembled, I can get these parts trimmed out along the edges, and then that will just sit with a slight lip over onto this top layer. Now the reason I did this piece right here is in case I ever do put a light inside this one, because it is a beacon tower. I'm out of the electronic parts that I need at the moment, but this is where the switch would be. So the switch would be sticking out just on this brick here, so that way the whole electronic system is contained in this part here, and that way you don't have to have like a switch sticking out randomly. It is part of the brick system. So that's why that piece is like that. So lastly now, for this is a, mine's a little bit big actually. But anyways, that is a rough trace out. So I have a piece of foam here that I'll do a circle trace out and cut that into a circle and then round it off. And that'll be the top insert. But actually I'll see if I can find something that's gonna fit that a little bit better so it's not lipping at all. Okay, this is a 60mm MDF base, which is pretty much the right size. It even dips in a little bit, which is no problem. So we'll basically use that as our guide. Okay, so that's the top of the tower done. So I'll cut out the windows now. So I use this little one here for the first one, which again is 2 bricks off of the floor. So it's at the right height for archers or whoever is in the tower to be looking out. Okay, so that's the 2 levels of windows cut. So now that's pretty much all the structure done, and it's just a matter of putting on the roof section here in shingles. So that's how that looks. Okay, so that's the trim pieces put on, or the sill plates, and now that's ready for just the shingles, and then that's finished. Okay, so the part I'm working on next is the sloped roof just on the edges here. And so what I'll be doing is I'm going to round these off a little bit. And this is made out of boxes from chocolate from Halloween. So I've cut them into 1-inch strips, so they'll basically just get glued on with the hot melt glue, but after I trim those off a bit. And then also the shingles are made out of the same thing, and I'll show you that, how I make that pattern, and also show you how I glue them on. So, for making the tiles, what I do is I have a 1-inch wide piece, so I've got 3 more here, and I mark the 3/8 from the edge, and then a 1/4 inch from the edge, and then 1/4 inch tabs. So what that does is you take the scissors, cut along these points here, just past the 1/4 inch mark, but then keeping it connected, so then when I cut the length of it, I have a tab for gluing here, and then the joint for the next one that comes in above will be covered. So I'll just do that right now on this first one, and I'll finish this one. Okay, that's the first layer of tiles, and then I'll cut more, but then you basically just have the offset point here. Hold on, the lights can see a bit better. That's your first layer there, and you just basically offset them, like so, and then just build the rest of the way up. Okay, the trim pieces are made from the joints on this stuff. So what I figured out is that if you do your bend, it's already pre-bent for you, and all you have to do is just get the right distance. Then obviously that will double up because it's either side of the joint. Okay, the very last part now will be little trim pieces just along to cover up that last joint and give it a finished look. Which will be made out of, I believe, 3/16. Alright, there you have it. That is the parts of the Gondorian beacon tower. And that is complete. I'll give you a siding view of that. Otherwise, it's all done. Ready to start painting and basing. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. And there's the tower with the twins for scale. So you can see there's the twin there. And there's the twin in the window there. So the inside can easily hold 4 models. I guess you can add a trap door if you'd like to for more realism. And then the same for the inside. If you put a twin up to the window, you'll have good view for archery as well as good coverage for taking shots back. But yeah, there you have it. Okay, I just wanted to just quickly show off one more detail. I've added the magnets, so as you can see, this is ultra stiff, connected, no problem now. And it's actually decent to pop off, so basically you got 2 magnets on either side, lining up 2 on the other side, and it just basically makes it like a perfectly solid connection that's not going to be opening or tipping. You know, if you're carrying it around, you don't have to worry about any of that. And if you really want to go, oh, this is a good tight fit here, but if you want to, you can add more magnets there. But I definitely won't be. And anyway, so yeah, I'll tidy up any bits of glue that are lying around and base that later on, and that's ready for painting.